Hello, welcome to another episode of Black Eye 73. I am Black Eye 73. On this video right here, I'm going to talk about how domestic violence cases have rose. And they're trying to blame it on COVID-19, the reason why the rise in domestic violence. Some expert claims that the reason why domestic violence is on the rise because partners are at home more. The husbands and wife and girlfriend and boyfriend, boyfriend and boyfriend, girlfriend and girlfriend. You got to be politically correct. It's on the rise because more people at home sharing time together. The people you chose to be your lover is now your enemy in some cases. Some people you chose for their beauty or their money are the same people you realize that you don't love, or they're controlling. In some of these cases, some of the ladies wasn't lucky to be able to start over and leave their mate. My damn dog. Yeah, some of these cases, these ladies wasn't able to start over and leave their mate. It ended tragedy for them. Then you have a bunch of other cases around the world. This is not just an American thing. It also in the UK, they said a rise of domestic murders over there in the UK also. Some people are just not making an excuse for the man or the woman. But some people do not get in a relationship for love. Some people get in a relationship for a whole different reason. Now with a bunch of people being laid off, a lot of people are being furloughed. They're spending more time around each other. And you know, sometimes money could be, especially if you put money at the front of everything in your household, and then you lose 10% or more of your income, and that could just start bringing forth all the hidden problems that y'all been hiding. But I'm gonna read, when I start reading some of this article, you're gonna see that some people some of their problems that were hidden end up being killed. They blame it on COVID-19. But I think these problems were happening way before. We know these problems were happening way before the COVID-19. If it just happened, they got killed during this pandemic. And they blame it on the pandemic. We need to stop making excuses for people. The pandemic is not the cause of man killing his wife or a woman killing her husband, or, so forth and so forth, so on. But we all gonna find an excuse why this is taking place. I don't mean, this ain't nothing to brag about, but there are no woman who I ever dated. There no woman who I ever dated, my ex-wife, none of them ever said I've been abusive to them. I never put my hand on a lady other than a way that she wanted me to put my hands on her. I know how to control myself. I know how to walk away. I don't need to have the last word. I know how to. I refuse to put my hands on someone who I say I love. The only way I'm gonna bring violence to someone is defending my family or defending myself. So I know everyone is not the same. Everyone don't think the same. But I ain't never one by that on the king of my castle and you do what I said. Always been real partners. That's how I been. That's the way I wasn't brought up that way. I ain't gonna sit here and lie and say I had that doing fairy tale TV life the way I was raised up. Like the mom and dad and everybody getting along all well and nah. I wasn't brought up that way. I seen domestic violence happen between my mother and some of her friends as I was growing up. I seen it with my aunties and uncles, or auntie boyfriends, and as I was growing up as a child. And I never used that as an excuse to say this is how you solve your problem. Even when I was in elementary school, grade school, even though I was in grade school, I never hit a female. A couple of dudes, yeah. We got into it. But there's no female alive that said I ever hit them. But like I said, some people have that superiority complex. It's not men's always. You have women who have that superiority complex. In a lot of cases, some of the women strike first. Same thing as some of the men strike first. I know as you read articles and stuff like that, it always saying domestic violence happened. This man did it. But many cases showing that women did or committed domestic violence. All you gotta do is look at Snap. Look at the old channel. It like the old channel like celebrate women killing their husband and stuff like that. I don't look at the old channel. But I know every time I scroll through the guide, I see Snap on the old channel. I'm gonna read some of this article right here in a little bit. But I'm gonna continue on getting my little, point of view. Because I don't know. It's one thing you can't get into a person's head and say, see what they thinking. What made them snap. Cause I know in some cases, some men, some women get treated terrible at work. And they got to keep their cool because they'll lose their job. So what other way to release that anger to them is to deal with the people you so-called love. Oh, isn't just domestic violence on the rise? Child abuse on the rise too. Yeah. A lot of women and men going home beating their children. At least though they claim is on the rise. But you look at studies, child abuse and domestic violence happen all the time. And that was way before this pandemic took place. The same thing they're saying about the domestic violence, the reason it's on the rise, it's the same thing they're saying about child abuse. That's more children getting beat because they're at home and not in school. The same children who getting beat at home were getting beat while they were going to school at the same time. Yeah. I was one of them children when I was growing up. You know, they said I was tough love. So I don't know, they getting tough love like I got, with the tree branches. You got to go break them, and or you get a belt or get a little stitcher card put to you by 5 or 6 times that look like a handprint in the back of your thing that lasts for a couple of weeks. But they said domestic violence and child abuse on the rise, but it ain't on the rise. It might just get reported more. Because now in school, they tell children, report them as they beating you. When I was coming up, you report them, they're going to say, get out. Or you tell a teacher, say, my mama did this. She going to call your mama and say, he down here telling people that you beat him. You're going to get a beating again when you get home. That's how it was. I was going to school. Not no more. Not no more. And plus, I have 2 daughters and a stepson. My older daughter grown. My baby, she darn near grown. She just turned 17 Monday. My stepson, he 10. But he'll be 10 this year. I don't whip. I don't even play fight with them. Something even more, you sit down and talk to your children. You can get through, but you got to start at a young age. You can't wait till they get by 10 and start saying, hey, let me sit here and talk to you. And all the time you be talking about, go ahead and whoops and yes, and I won't give a damn. You better not come home till you you can't sit there and talk to your children like that. And then when they get old, you like, well, you need to calm down. I don't know where you get that from. They get it from you. But I'm going to read some of this article. It's on April the 2nd. This guy named Joseph. He lived in Maryland. He was on a stay-at-home order. They said he put his rifle in his car and drove 30 minutes to his screaming wife house. Her name is Heather. She was a 36-year-old Army vet in the ride home. He up and fired on her in the street, killing her, and he killed a teenage neighbor who was practicing lacrosse in his front yard. Then Joseph drove home and shot himself too. They said the same day in Georgetown, Texas, this guy named Ruben, he retrieved a handgun from his room and began firing at his girlfriend and her 15-year-old daughter. They said he turned the weapon on himself. They said his girlfriend escaped with injuries, but her daughter, described as a fun-loving, free-spirit child, did not. And it's in Lockport Township, Illinois. The officer responded to a call for a wellness check for a married couple. They found Cheryl, 59, shot in the back of the head at close range. Her husband was dead of a self-inflicted gunshot wound. It's a family that told police that he'd been afraid that the couple had contracted the coronavirus. That neither had it according to the autopsies. Come on, people. Do y'all really think that's the reason that man killed his wife and killed himself? Because he believed they got the coronavirus? That sounds like an episode of The Walking Dead. That one person get bit, or both people get bit, and they make a pact talking about, if I get bit and you get bit, you're going to kill each other or whatever. We need to stop. And then the media reported as the coronavirus is the doing COVID-19 got these people really just going crazy. This is not a virus that caused you to have brain damage and go on a killing spree, it's something that you wanted to do in the first place. It's something they had going on behind the closed doors that happened. It just happened to happen within these 3 or 4 months. They said after the United States tracked the mounting death tolls of the coronavirus pandemic, which reached 20,000 on Saturday, there's another list of casualties that is steadily rising, mostly hidden from the view. They said the victim of domestic violence. But as y'all know, come on, Maryland, as y'all know, every year, y'all would be, it's sad to say, y'all would be cases of domestic violence. Very high cases of domestic violence. So, it's sad to say, it's nothing new. This is nothing new, but it's sad to say it, but you're going to blame it on the coronavirus and you being home. Except for weeks, experts have warned that domestic violence will increase during the outbreak. How do experts know what's going to happen at your house? Who are the experts? How can they predict child abuse or how they could domestic violence? If they know it's gonna rise, so they know who the people gonna do it then. If they doing smart, they should like, okay, domestic violence is gonna be on the rise. So they should have just said, oh, Mr. Johnson in the house 333 is one of the people who might do the domestic violence. Don't make no, oh man, we got too many darn experts that they never say who the experts are. They say as a victim or forced to shelter with abuse, a critical support service, such as court, shelter, and even other family members who serve as a type of protective shield from violence are out of reach. So now there are some warning signs that lethal domestic violence is already on the rise. It's in an average week in the United States, around 11 murder-suicides occur. That's on an average week. That without the pandemic. They said the vast majority of murder-suicide when a person kills someone else or multiple people and then themselves occur within intimate partners and families. They said the predator usually is a man with a gun targeting his spouse or girlfriend or other family members before taking his own life. But they said between March the 27th and April the 2nd, as the majority of the states ordered the public to stay home, there were at least 19 murder-suicides, including 4 attempt ones, according to the Huffington Post. Post. I think it's Huffington Post. Yeah. They said almost all of the incidents involve a man killing his wife or child before taking his own life. They said the murder-suicide usually Google Alert or gun violence database is likely an additional incident exists. Like I said earlier, a lot of this stuff been occurring all the time at home. They just happen to do it during the pandemic. They blame it on the coronavirus. Here go another expert right here. They said an expert warned that it is too early to tell if the coronavirus crisis has ushered the significant increase of fatal acts of domestic violence. They said, however, paired with the spikes in the calls into the hotlines and the surging gun sales across the country, many who spoke with Huffington Post feared the worst. This is several years ago. A colleague said, "You want to reduce crime in the street? You take away the street." And they said, "What we done," said James Fox, a criminal professor at Northeastern University who studied homicide. He said, "We seen a drop in violence between strangers. At the same time, when you put people in close vicinity, there's a greater opportunity for confidence. It's a one who anticipate that domestic homicides and murder suicide will increase this kind of situation. So you telling me so all the killers is at home with their family now? That's what it sound like they saying. It sound like since they spending more time at home, instead of killing strangers, they're killing their family members. Kind of weird to me. If I misunderstood, y'all tell me I misunderstood. But that's what it sounds like to me. Since you're spending more time at home, you're not around strangers. I don't know. I don't see the ID channel too many times when the serial killers, they come home, be normal doing dads and normal moms, and they go out there and kill strangers. They had this on a ID channel. They say in 7 days period, analysts, they said there was at least one domestic violence murder suicide incident every day. Most days there were 2 or 3. They said in some cases the pandemic appeared to be a factor in the killing. Still say that BS. How you gonna blame a pandemic and a murder suicide? It's on March the 30th. A 38-year-old Pennsylvania man who was upset over losing his job due to the crisis ambushed his girlfriend on the perch. Down. He said, "Hey, quote, I already talked to God and I had to do this." He alleged told her before shooting her 4 times and then killing himself. So one bullet hit her, but she survived the homicide attempt. So in any case, this dude was already crazy. This dude didn't do this because of COVID-19. He did it because he was crazy. He wanted to kill her in the first place. He shot at her 4 times. They said, wow. They said, why they talk? Wait, why it's too soon for nationwide data, despite some domestic violence reports in a number of cities in the United States is concerning. There's the president and CEO of the Nation Network to End Domestic Violence, Inc., New York State, the epicenter of the pandemic in the United States. They said domestic violence calls to the police have risen by as much as 15 to 20% in recent weeks, according to state officials. They said right now, the entire world is telling everyone to stay at home, she said. But there's a portion of our community from whom home is not a safe place. This is a lady named Heather, who I talked about earlier, who killed by her estranged husband on April 11th. See, them two wasn't even living together. And how you gonna blame that on COVID-19? Isn't that hard to explain? They wasn't even living together. And y'all gonna say, oh, COVID-19 made him do it. He could have been doing custody. He could have been, she got the house. It could have been so many different reasons. But they're gonna blame it on COVID-19. They said other countries, including France, China, Australia, Greenland, reported increased rates of domestic violence once they shelter in place. They said natural disasters in the past have also corresponded to increased rate of domestic violence. They said after Hurricane Harvey hit Houston in 2017, for example, domestic violence murder spiked. They said victims have fewer options to escape abuse during the coronavirus crisis. The vice president for policy and emerging issues in the national network to end domestic violence. House of Friends are extending families for less available due to social distance. As a victim may not want to go to a domestic violence shelter and live with strangers during a public health crisis. So at the same time, many of the experience mountains financial insecurity due to job losses. And don't get it wrong, domestic violence are happening in the United States and around the world. But at the same time, these nonprofit places that shelter people for domestic violence, they pocket been affected too. We know everything in this world pretty much deal with money. It's just like I talked about the censors, just like more children staying in a row. Same thing for domestic violence. The more people come to their shelters, or the more money they get for grants and donations and all that kind of stuff. I ain't saying that they're using people for grants and donations, but they also are. They're making money off this. You don't have no vice president of domestic violence without the person getting paid for it. The president get paid for it. You know what I'm saying? There are people who get paid off other people hurts. We know this happen all the time. Like the mental health fields. There are people who making money off the mental health. That's their occupation. No. That is their occupation. You get people who make in the hundreds to close to millions of dollars a year. Open up these group homes and these centers to help out mental health people. Same thing with domestic violence. You got some people who care, but you got also some people there for the paycheck. Just like any other job, you got people there for the paycheck. That's just my opinion. They said they tell survivors, if you leave, you're going to get the virus or burning their insurance card or preventing them from going to the doctor for testing, she said. It's a Randa stressed that support services are still available and urged victims to reach out to the National Domestic Violence Hotline either by phone. The number is 800-799-SAFE or text LOVES LOVEIS to 22522 if you're going to domestic violence. The number is, once again, is 1-800-799-SAFE or text LOVES LOVEIS to 22522. That's it. If you have a situation where someone is experiencing abuse and that the partner buys a gun, that's just throwing gasoline on the fire. There's a domestic violence expert interviewed by the Huffington Post. That's what it is. God damn, it won't come out. They said we're concerned about reports of increased gun and ammunition sales during the coronavirus crisis. They said nearly 4 million gun background checks were performed in March. They said the highest number since the federal government began tracking them. They said of the top 5 days ever, 2 were Black Friday, and the other 3 have been during the outbreak, said Susan, a professor at the University of Pennsylvania and director of the Center of Violence and Abuse. They said a lot of guns purchases are motivated by fear, she said. People are being told to stay in their homes, that thousands of people will die, and this may go on for an extended period. It is completely understood. Well, they said completely understandable to be afraid. But they're saying that people was buying guns, but they ain't saying that the people who bought the gun, there's no report saying the people who bought the gun through this time are the people committing a murder-suicide. You can pull stats out anywhere to support your argument, but the argument still might not be true. Like I was reading an article yesterday that said allegedly COVID-19 might came out of a lab in China. But then you read out, now they said allegedly, they said COVID-19 might came out of a lab in China. But when you read on through the article, they're saying, well, we don't have proof of it, but it might be the case. It's the same thing right here. They're saying we don't have proof that the people who are finding guns during this time are the ones committing murder-suicide. These people could have had these guns or get these guns passed down from their dumb grandpa or dad or mom or whatever, and could have had these guns for years and just decided, like, this today, I'm going to do it. Don't blame the junk on surging gun sales for murder, suicide, or domestic violence. I've been a gun owner for 17 years. Yeah, when my daughter was born, that was the first time I bought a gun. I never once, it's just my opinion again, I never once thought about just getting a gun and just go out there and commit a darn crime or go ahead and hurt my child or the people who I love. Listen, I can't stand crap like that when they're saying try to bring both of them things together. They're selling lies. I'm not a member of the NRA. I'm sure I wouldn't even have the money to afford to be a member of the NRA every year. I'm not one. I go ahead and I tell my sisters, tell my female cousins, I tell all the women out there, I said, I don't believe a woman should live in the house and not have a gun. That's just my opinion. They're talking about, the children might get the gun. Now you store it in a safe place. Then they're talking about, where you put it in a safe, it's too late to get to it. Man, I don't believe nobody, especially women. I don't believe no women in the United States or the world should be in their house and not have a gun, especially if you stay by yourself. That's just my opinion. But my sweetie, her dad had guns, but she ain't never owned no gun herself. She was like, I'm afraid of guns. I don't like guns. I said, like, a year and a half into our relationship, I would take her out there to get her gun license. I'm like, shoot, don't be afraid of guns. The guns ain't gonna get up there and do nothing to you. It's better off for you to be safe. Yeah, and I called it my friend. I said, it's better off you have your little friend right beside you to protect you. Yeah, that's how I feel. But, other people got their own feelings. You got people who are like, think I can't be no Democrat and own a gun too. I was a registered Democrat, but I'm a independent voter. And I'm going to continue on having my gun. I'm just saying. Protect your home. Protect yourself. I told my niece, I ain't going to get my niece's name out. But I told my niece, and she had told me that she was having a problem with her man. I told her, I said, report that junk. Keep on reporting to the police. Then one day you get tired, you go ahead and pop him. That was my opinion. I said it out of love. I said, go ahead and shoot him. You say you got it on record. Georgia to stand your ground state. She said, no, I can't do that. Shit. My daughter got the green light. And my daughter tell me, whatever gender she want to choose to who she gonna marry, a female or male. And she tell me they beat her. I said, girl, you don't go ahead and handle your business. If that take place. No sense of, I better start telling y'all children that guns are dangerous Well, other people who got guns are the ones who dangerous. I know some of y'all heard me, some people didn't. Y'all didn't hear what I said. The guns are not dangerous. It's just the people who got the guns who's gonna hurt you are the ones who dangerous. Yep. That's just my little rant. I know a lot of people gonna disagree. I don't blame them. I don't blame you. If you disagree with what I'm saying, I don't blame you. Like I said, we all got our own opinion. Yeah, some people, everybody, they got their own opinion. They say, according to one study, abusers with firearms are 5 times more likely to kill their victims. They say firearm purchases are also associated with an increased risk of suicide for at least 6 years following the sales of guns. But at the same time, when females do commit suicide, females don't use violent ways to kill themselves. They say most likely it's a female gonna kill herself. She's gonna take a drug overdose or something like that. According to the so-called experts. They say if you have a situation where someone is experiencing abuse and their partner buys a gun, they're just throwing gasoline on the fire. I said that before. It's a caution that it's too early to know if the murder-suicide are rising during the coronavirus crisis. This is typical. The numbers of the incident week to week, she said, but during the same time period in 2017, the last year for which there is data, there was only 11 such crimes. They're talking about 2017. They skipped all over 2018 and 2019. They just go to the least amount of crime that what it happened, at least in a year or the least amount of time that happened. They said, I hope researchers will do a peer review study on what happened with domestic violence during this period. They said, it's not that the coronavirus crisis is causing people to become violent. See, if they had said this 1.5 sentence in the beginning of this article, this article would have been over with. This article wouldn't even have no legs to go on. But they're gonna wait always to close to the end of the article to say they don't think there's no kind of research saying that the guns, people buying guns, have anything to do with this increase in domestic violence. Yep, if they had said this, it's not the coronavirus is causing the people to become violent. You jump like, I ain't gonna read this article, People say, okay, it's not the coronavirus. But they said the expert of domestic violence and the president of the Alliance for Hope International. But they said, but the condition could be already a dangerous situation. They quote, you don't go from healthy personal relationship to fear of COVID-19 to murder-suicide. He said those things don't go together, he said. Most of these offenders have high level of rage and now they're out of jobs and they're stuck at home. Like I said earlier in the video, the people already were going through domestic violence. And this time the person who did the murder went too far. You don't just start off, just come home, just, kill someone. They already had, the little things that happen already. As a victim are especially vulnerable as many are not at work and don't have the protective factors of other family members. They ended up more isolated with their abuser. As in the case of Heather, the Army veteran shot down outside her home last week. Her murder was preceded by years of alleged abuse. They sent her estranged husband was beating her, and they don't know why. They can't give you no reason why he killed her. They said she had a protective order against her estranged husband, which required him to surrender his firearm. But that expired in January, according to court records. He strangled and stalked her in the past. He also threatened to kill her. See, you see how they use Heather? So they started out with Heather and her husband in the domestic violence incident. That's how the beginning of the arc started off. And like I said about 2 or 3 minutes ago, now they're gonna say, oh yeah, according to records, he had did this in the past, way before coronavirus, the COVID-19. Way before the surge of the gun buyers in March and April. See, these are the type of article. These are the type of article right here. When people just read the first few lines and go around saying, "Yeah, because of the coronavirus, that's why these people getting killed and stuff at home doing domestic violence." You read the first couple of paragraphs, be like, "Yeah, man, yeah, that is true. You gotta watch out." But when you read on through the whole article, you're like, "Oh yeah, these people were having problems way before this." I know some people. I pray to the Lord that my daughter never go through this. Neither one of them, or my stepson. I pray to the Lord they never go through it. But I can't control. I can't control what they put up with when they get in a relationship. But we need to stop blaming the sales of guns. We need to stop blaming COVID-19 for your political choice. We know every time a disaster happen or a pandemic happen, like the sale of guns go up. I'm telling you. When a hurricane come in, the sale of guns come up. Earthquake, ever telling y'all, it's crazy. Every time something happens, they always say, go to the sales of guns go up. Like, are these the same people buying the guns every single time? Or is this a different group of young adults who turn 18? What the buying age? I think the buying age is 21. Are these the people who turn 21 and decide to go buy a gun? We need to stop making excuses. We need to stop making these pandemics and these natural disasters are the reason why y'all saying the guns are going up. Not making them seem like people got to start riding through neighborhoods and start robbing people. Or just going around just like the Walking Dead. No, they're trying to treat it like it's a zombie apocalypse. Oh man. I don't know. I just want y'all to think for yourself. I want y'all to protect yourself. You're a woman, you live alone. In the state of Georgia. I live in the state of Georgia. Born and raised in the state of Georgia. Well, you can tell by my accent. I'm an old Southern dude. But in the state of Georgia, you do not need a gun license to purchase a gun. Ladies, are you listening to me? I know this is not one of those public service announcements that you received on TV. Like they tell you to go ahead and call the Mr. Violence hotline and reach out to one of them women help shelter. I'm gonna give you another public service announcement. In the state of Georgia, you do not need a gun license to go buy a gun. Only thing you need is the money, and you need a little time to wait for your background check to come back. That's in the state of Georgia. If you don't have a federal, if you don't have no federal background, you know what I'm saying, never been charged with a federal crime. In the state of Georgia, you just need money and a little time for your background to check to come back to own a gun. And if you want to protect yourself, you can ask one of your family members how to load the gun. If you don't know how, you can ask your family members to train you how to shoot the gun. If you don't know how, but I don't think no woman in the state of, I don't think no woman in the world should not have a gun in their house. And then another thing, you want to carry that gun in your car? There's a simple thing you can do. To have the magazine and the gun separated if you don't have no license for them. At the same time, you can have it in close reach. Because in the state of Georgia, if you don't know the law, I know I said it a couple of times that there's a stand your ground state, but in the state of Georgia, your house and your car is just the same. You know that darn Kingdom law? You can protect your house and your car. It's somebody trying to harm you. Yeah. You can use deadly weapon. If somebody try to bust your door windows out and snatch you out, just pull your gun. Protect yourself, women. This is my PSA for you. Don't walk around with no sunglasses on. Protect yourself. Thank you for watching the video. If you don't agree with some of the stuff I said, leave a comment. I don't care what the comment is. I don't go back and forth with nobody. I accept your opinion. Matter of fact, you leave a doing negative opinion, I'm gonna hit the love and the heart thing, I will. I'm gonna hit the love and the heart thing. Like, okay, sure, I feel what you're saying. I said, I understand. I hit that. I agree. I disagree. I agree to disagree. Yeah. You won't get nowhere going back and forth. I'm like, oh, you stupid, you dumb. Like, yeah, there's a lot of things I'm stupid and dumb, man. I agree. But hey, thank you for watching the video. Thank you for putting up with my mess. Some things I might make a good point, some things I might didn't. If you ain't subscribed, go ahead and subscribe. Hit the like button. Hit the notification bell. And share. Go ahead and hit the share button. Till next time, I'll talk to y'all later. Y'all take care. Wash your hand, man. Down. Hand sanitizer has been selling out like crazy. There's a whole lot of body washing doing hand wash. Wash your hand. And wash it till you see some soap come up. Don't go out there and wash your fingertip. See that right there? Wash. Wait. On the end. Or that end. Wash your fingertip. And untouch your thumb. All right, y'all take care. I'll talk to y'all later.